All right, welcome back everyone. Today we are going to be doing something called breadboarding. And this is a half-size breadboard. So that's why it's called breadboarding, because this is what we're doing. We have three little LED lights. So I have two more here, but I'll just be using one to show you. So as you can see, one of these like LED legs is shorter than the other one. So this is short, this is long. The long side is positive, and the short leg is negative. And so when we're plugging these into our bread box, I will specify where to put the long leg and the short leg because that does matter. And then we have our 1 kilo ohm resistors, which look like that. Trying my best. They're kind of small, so it's hard to see. And I like to bend mine into kind of a U shape, and because we're going to be plugging it in two different places, so it just makes it easier. We're gonna have, I just dropped a resistor. That's okay, I'll get it in a sec. We're gonna have 3 short wires, hopefully all different colors, but if not, that's fine. Just keep track of what goes where. And 1 longer wire. And all right, I'm going to pick up my resistor and then we'll get started. All right, so we're back. I have my 3rd resistor now. Okay, so breadbox. I guess I could have said this when I went over the breadbox in the beginning, but that's fine. Across the top, we have letters A through J, and then we have this positive negative column on either side, and then down the side we have numbers 1 through 30. And then there's letters across the bottom too, but they align with the top, so you can just match the grid more easily. And so basically when I'm saying when I'm plugging things in, I will say what peg I'm plugging it into, or what pin I'm plugging it into, and I will refer to it as like A3 or, so on and so forth, given where I plug it in. And if you've ever played like chess or Battleship, it's the same type of grid system where you have letter, number, and that you go across to that letter, down to that number, and that is what I'm referring to. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know before we get started. Here's my lovely workstation here. My desk is kind of dirty, but that's okay. So we have our LEDs, and each LED is going to be plugged into E and F. So one leg's going to go into E, the other leg's going to go into F, which is across this middle like dent here. The positive leg is going to go into E, and I'm plugging this first one into E3. The negative leg is going to go into F3. And there we go. That's exactly what it should look like. E3, F3. Okay. Next one is going to go into E15 on the long leg and F15 on the short leg. And last one is going to go into E28 on the long leg and F28 on the short leg. Come on. All right, so there's our LEDs, all in line, all in line. Then we're going to go ahead with our resistors. So I bent this into a U shape. One end of the U is going to go into H3, and the other end can really go anywhere in this negative column, but I like to keep it in like -3 just because it's easy to check like horizontally if that's in the right spot. A couple important things to note: these resistors do not have positive and negative ends like the LEDs. It's the same either way, so that doesn't matter. And you don't want, let me see, this angle might be better. You don't want these 2 wires to touch, because that will make your equipment break, and we don't really want that to happen. So I have to bend it. It bothers me visually, but that is the price that I must pay. So next we're going to plug our next resistor into H15, and the other end is going to go into the minus column, but once again I'm choosing minus 15 just for simplicity's sake. Last one is going into H28 and minus 28. There we go. All right. Cool. So this side's not really getting as plugged in as I would like it to, so hence the delay on additional instructions. And this could happen to you too, where it's like you just don't really feel like it's getting plugged all the way in, but I might just cut this out when I publish this because this is taking a while. There we go. Or maybe not. Okay, looks like it decided to cooperate with me. All right, so bam. That is what our breadboard will look like when we are finished. Once again, just important notes, we don't want these wires to touch. So if you can just kind of check that before you proceed. I guess right now it's not as big of a deal since we don't have a battery plugged in. Nothing's going to happen if there's no current, and a battery being connected would cause a current. So while there's no current, oh, that's a problem. Sorry, I'm actually going to pause this really quick. Okay, so what happened there? Basically, when I plugged in my resistor, I somehow circumvented the pin that I was trying to plug it into and went into the wrong pin. So this is what it should look like. All the letters that I said were correct. Like I had the issue in H15, but it is plugged into H15 now, so don't worry about it. That was just a really weird fluke kind of error that I've not really seen happen before, so that was interesting. So now we can proceed with our wires. So our first wire is going to go into A3, and this is a short wire, and leave the other end free. The next wire is going to go into A15, leave the other end free, and final wire is going to go into A28, leave the other end free. Now our long wire, it can go anywhere in the minus column. I'm going to just throw it up here. And there we go. Completed breadboard. This is pretty much it for what we're doing. And we'll be connecting it to the Arduino in the next video. And that's how we do it. That's how we circuit a breadboard. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop it in the comments. Cool. See you all next time.